Okay, so today's video is a beginner video for a granny square, just a basic granny square. I'm going to show you how to change colors at the end of each round, and I will also show you how to continue in the same color. So it might be a bit of a long video. Strap yourself in, let's get ready and go. Now I'm going to change the view so it's a close-up one, and I'm going to start with my green color. Just slide them out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to start with a slip knot. So the way I do my slip knot is I have the tail in my palm, and I take the working end of the yarn and I wrap it around my finger like that. I then take this one and cross it loosely over, and then I take this one, making sure I go over the top of that and pulling these two tails tight. So I then have my slip knot. And what is important to know about doing the slip knot this way is if your tension is a little tight, your tail will pull the yarn tight and the working yarn will pull it loose. So just to start off with, if you find your tension's a little tight, it's best to make sure that your tail is the one that pulls the yarn tight, not the working yarn. Now I'm going to start with a chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to put my hook into this first chain that I made, just like that. So on my hook, it will look like this. So I have my working loop and I have my chain, my first chain that I made. Here's my slip knot here. Now I'm going to yarn over like that, and I'm going to pull this yarn over through the both loops on my hook, and then I will be able to find the center of my circle just like that. The center is just here where my finger is. I'm going to get a stitch marker and I'm going to pop that in there. This is very good for beginners to put a stitch marker in the center of your circle, because this is where you are working all your stitches, into this center of the circle where this stitch marker is. Now I'm going to start with a chain 3. This counts as a double crochet and it gets me the height for my round. So this here, my chain 3, is my first double crochet. I'm going to yarn over and make 2 more double crochet into the center of my circle. So yarn over, hook into the center of the circle, yarn over and pull up a loop. So pull that loop through the center of the circle like so. With 3 loops on my hook, I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So I now have my chain 3 and my first double crochet. I'm just going to slide that around. I'm going to make another double crochet. So I yarn over, I insert my hook into the center of the circle, and my yarn over is at the back. So I'm going to yarn over like that and pull up a loop just through the center of the circle. And that gives me 3 loops on my hook. I yarn over and I pull that through the first 2 loops on my hook. I yarn over and pull that through the next 2 loops on my hook. That is my first cluster of 3. 1, 2, 3. I have my chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and 2 double crochet. So that's 3 altogether. Now that is my first side. I'm going to make my first corner, which is a chain 2. And now I am going to make 3 more double crochet into the center of the circle. So again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Doing that one more time to make a group of 3. So we have one side, one corner, second side, chain 2 to make the second corner. My yarn's rolling all over the place, sorry about that. I'm going to make another group of 3 double crochet. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So you should have the hang of it by now. I've got 1, 2, 3 sides, 2 corners. My third corner, and my fourth side is 3 double crochet. So there's my 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got 1, 2, 3 corners, chain 2 to make my last corner, and then to close this square off, I've got to slip stitch to my first stitch to join this together. So here's my chain 3. I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to insert my hook into that third chain that I made. That is my first double crochet, and yarn over and pull through both loops like that. And now I have the first square on the first round on my granny square. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to stay in the green for this round. I will change colors next round. So to get a seamless finish on your granny square, I like to start in the corners every time, and I don't like to flip my work. Some patterns will tell you to flip your work, to chain 3, whatever. The way that I do it is the way I'm about to show you now. And I'm going to put stitch markers in each of my corners. Just to highlight the corners for my beginners. Now, so I am here at the top of this chain 3 double crochet, but I need to be over where this blue stitch marker is to start my next round. So to get there, I have to slip stitch across 1, 2, and 3 times. So I'm in that corner space here. So to do that, I'm going to put my hook, I'm going to put my hook in the top of this double crochet here, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through like that. Now I'm in the top of my second double crochet. To get into the top of my third one, I'm going to insert my hook and yarn over and pull through. Now I was here, I'm now over here, and now I want to be in this chain space, this corner space. So I'm going to put my hook into there. Put my hook into there and yarn over and slip stitch. Now I'm in this corner, in this chain 2 blue space, which is where I want to be. So now I'm going to start this round. To start this round, I'm going to chain 3. This is my chain 3 height and my double crochet for the round. I'm going to make 2 more into here. Double crochet, so yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 2 to make my corner for the next round. And then I'm going to make 3 more double crochet into this same spot. So your corners are always going to stay the same. They're always going to be a group of 3 double crochet, a chain 2, and 3 double crochet. Now to get over to this green corner, for the next corner, I'm going to chain 2. That creates a side for the next round. And then I'm going to do my 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into my green corner. So we do 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 1, 2, 3. Chain 2 to get to my yellow corner, and then I will double crochet into there. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, last corner, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2 for my last side. Now I'm going to take my stitch markers out and move them into my newly created corners. Once you get the hang of it, you won't need to use stitch markers. It should come pretty quickly, but sometimes it's just handy if you're mindless crocheting, listening to the radio, podcast, TV, whatever. The bigger your squares get, sometimes you might zone out and do a corner as a side or a side as a corner. If you're moving your stitch markers like that around as you go, it's always a good visual reminder. Now I've got to join this side to here. Here's my first double crochet, which is a chain 3, and I'm going to count up, if you can see, 1 chain, 2 chains, 3 chains. I'm going to put my hook into that 3rd chain I made, slip stitch through and join that on. Now that is 2 rounds done in the same color. I'm going to cut this yarn off now, show you how to finish this color and start a new color. So I'm going to cut that off, move that color out of the way. Now to end this round, I have my little tail here. I'm just going to yarn over. Oh, that was a fail, sorry. Try again. Yarn over and pull that all the way through like that, and then just pull it tight. I like to leave a nice long tail to sew in. Same at the start, I will sew that in as well at the end. Just sewing your tails in backwards and forwards and backwards again is good practice to make sure they don't come undone in the washing machine. Now I'm going to show you how to start a new color. When you start a new color, you start in the corner. I like to start in a corner that I didn't finish in. So I finished here. I'm going to start over here in this yellow corner, just so that when I come to sew my ends in, I'm not sewing them in all in the one side. That's just going to add bulk and weight to your blanket unnecessarily. So I like to choose a different side. So I'll go with the green. I'll go around my square. So I'll start here, and I start with a slip knot on the purple color. Take that over, pull my tails tight like so. Pop that on my hook just to tighten it up a bit. But then I'm going to take it off my hook. I'm going to pick up my square, making sure I've got my square facing me. This is the front side, the right side of my square. I want to attach the yarn and crochet the right way. That is the back of my piece. You can see the stitches look a bit more wavy and the tail is on that side. These are a bit straighter. It's important to keep your work all on the same side. So I'm going to put my hook through that chain 2 space. I'm actually going to get that stitch marker out of the way. Put my hook through there. So I'm just simply through that big space. I'm going to put my yarn slip knot on my hook. Make it a tiny bit looser so I can pull that through like that. I've got the slip knot at the back of my work and my yarn here. I'm going to chain 1. That's going to attach my yarn. I'm going to pull that slip knot nice and tight now, and I'm going to chain 2 more to make the height of my double crochet, my first one. Now I'm holding this tail at the back and I'm going to make my first corner. Just going to hold that out of the way like that, and I'm going to do my double crochets. I'm actually crocheting over the purple tail. Just unravel my yarn a bit. Just holding it with the green, just so it's a bit less to sew in at the end. If you know me, you know I hate sewing in ends, but I do it eventually. But if this little starting means I can sew over it a bit as I crochet over it a bit as I go, all the well and good. Now I've done my first corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Going to put that green stitch marker in that corner made. Now I'm going to chain 2. Just let me pop this on here so it unrolls naturally for me while I crochet. I'm going to chain 2, which creates a side for the next round, and I'm working into my first side here. So the sides are just 3 double crochet in that chain 2 space of the side that you made from the row below. And then chain 2 and do my corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, 2, 3, and I'm going to move that yellow stitch marker into that corner. So you can see I have a corner. I've made a chain 2 for my next side. This side is my 3 double crochet. I have a chain 2 here for the next side, and then my next corner, pop my yellow stitch marker into there, and I'm going to chain 2 to get me to that next side. Oh goodness me, this yarn is so soft and beautiful that my hook is just slipping right through it, and I've actually caught it there on the bloody stitch marker. I'm gonna have to undo that one and redo that. Bear with me. So I just pulled out a double crochet. I'm going to do one more to complete that corner because I caught my stitch marker in it. Chain 2 and then do my next side. Chain 2 to make a side for the next row. And then I'm doing my corner again here. I'm going to take that stitch marker out this time. So double crochet, group of 3. Chain 2 and double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Pop my stitch marker back in there in my corner space. Just a good visual aid until you get the hang of what you're actually doing properly, or you feel more confident to remember where your corners are. Sometimes you just get in the groove and you tune out a bit, and next thing you know you realize you've done a corner in a side or a side in a corner, and you have to pull it back. Now another little tip I'm going to show you, just going to take my hook off here. I've got my green tail here from the row below. Let me remove that stitch marker. Just going to do a quick weave in and out with this green tail, moving it over into the corner space, and then I can crochet over the top of it as I go. Don't have to do this. Again, just something I do because it makes it that little bit easier. So now my tail is here. It was over here, and then I can crochet over it on this last corner with the new color. So I've done my chain 2, doing my 3 double crochet, chain 2, turning it a bit, doing 3 doubles for the last side of the corner. My hands don't seem to want to work today as fast as I want them to work. I'm going to put my stitch marker in there, my blue stitch marker for my last corner. Chain 2, 1, 2, and do my side, 1, 2, 3, and a chain 2 to finish. And now I've finished that purple round. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, 4 sides, 4 corners, just what you want. And we've added an extra 2 sides this round. So your corners are always going to be the same, it's your sides that grow. Now I'm going to slip stitch this close. So here's my chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put my hook into there, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through that just like that to finish that round off. Now, if you wanted to stay in your same color, you can go back and look at how I did the green one again. I'm going to change colors again. So I'm going to cut that purple yarn off, take that off my yarn holder. Now I've got my tail. I'm just simply going to yarn over and pull that all the way through and knot that off. And I'm going to start my next color. I'm going to use this mustard. Hopefully I have enough left of it to do the round. I should do. Just going to really loosely put that on my yarn holder. And I finished here. See, have a look at the back of it. So I've got a beginner here, a beginner here. So now I'm going to choose this corner. I'm going to start in my purple corner this time. So I've got beginning spots in each different corner. I'm going to grab my mustard yellow and I'm going to make a slip knot. So my tail, like so. I'm going to yarn that over like that, and then I'm going to take this one over and off my finger, and oh dear, sorry, that wasn't on camera. Let me do that again. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to take my tail over. I'm going to take this over and off, and then I'm going to pull them too tight to make my slip knot. This is the corner I'm starting in, so I put my hook into there, attach my color. This is my preferred color change method. There's loads of different ways to do it. You just pick which one works for you, but this one works for me. I like it, and I've never had an issue with it coming undone or anything like that in the wash. So this is my go-to method. So I've attached my yarn, and then I've done 3 chains, and I'm going to pull that right around here. I'm going to hold the mustard beside the purple, and I'm going to yarn over both of them and pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. I'm just, like I said before, holding that tail there so you can see me yarning over and keeping that tail secure. Oh, gone into the wrong spot, sorry. Just keeping that tail secure so it's a little less sewing in to do at the end. Just holding it there like this, and I'm yarning over. I'm going through there, and you can see the purple and the mustard together, and I'm going over the top of both of them like that. And then I chain 2, going to stop and put my stitch marker in. Chain 2, and now here I have 2 sides to do. So I've chained 2, I'm going to do my first side, 3 double crochet, and then I'm going to chain 2 over this cluster, and I'm going to do 3 double crochet in my next chain 2 space. Chain 2, and I'm up to my next corner. I'm going to take that stitch marker out, work my corner, Some patterns will tell you to chain 3 in the corner, 1 on the sides. Some will say 1 in the corners, none on the sides. It's really up to you, personal preference, based on your tension and stuff as well, and what sort of look you're after. This is quite a gappy granny square, nice bigger holes in it. If you want something with smaller holes, do 1 chain or no chains. I just teach 2 chains in the corner, 2 on the side, so it's nice and consistent, and we're only saying 2 chains everywhere, just to keep it easy for beginners. But once you get a bit more advanced, feel free to do whatever you prefer, or even from the get-go, do whatever you prefer. There's no hard and fast rules. You make it up, you do what you want. This is just how I'm showing you my method for teaching beginners, and I'm going back to put that stitch marker in there. Now I'm here at my purple corner, like I showed you with the green. Just going to show you a little trick that I like to do this tail. I'll show you again. I'm going to just weave it in and out till I get to I'm just putting my hook into the top of the stitch and pulling the tail through just to get it into that corner, and it gives it a bit more security and gets it into that corner where I can then crochet over it. And now I've got my 2 sides done here. I chain 2 to get into my corner, and my tail's there, so I'm going to hold that with the purple. Sorry, hold the tail with the purple yarn was what I meant. Chain 2. And you can see I'm just holding it at the back there and going over the top of it with the new stitches. Chain 2. Double crochet, 3 double crochet cluster for this side, and then chain 2 over my cluster from the row below, and the 3 double crochet cluster. Put my stitch marker in this corner. Take the stitch marker out of this corner. Chain 2, and I'm in this corner now. Doing my last corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. Chain 2, put my stitch marker in there. Doing my last side pieces. I've already chained 2, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and 1, 2, 3, chain 2 to finish that last side, and then I'm going to join it just to here. Here's my first chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip my hook into there and yarn over and pull through both, and that is the next round completed. Now I'm just going to cut that off and yarn over, pull that through and pull it tight. And there we go, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of a granny square completed. I was going to do another round in the grey, but I think you should have the idea of it by now. And if you don't, you can just rewatch it again and again and again. Thank you. Enjoy.